everybody, this is Holly Amarande with Yummy Life Wellness, and welcome to the Yummy Life Kitchen segment. And it is Thursday, which means it is Junk Food Thursday. You know, I'm not big on eating real junk food, but I do understand that sometimes you just gotta have something that tastes really, really good. So I have designed some ways to have some of my favorite junk food type foods, but make them healthier. And that's exactly what I'm doing today. I am going to show you how to make a spicy garlic buffalo wing, a boneless buffalo wing. It's not exactly low fat, but everything in it is, you know, not processed. So it's a way that you can have your favorite type of junk food item without feeling guilty about it, because there's nothing bad in it at all. So I've got over here, I have my sauce going. This is the spicy garlic sauce. It is really easy. It's about a stick of butter. Yeah, I said a stick. Organic butter. I did use the salted variety in this particular recipe because it's what I had. And then about a cup of Frank's Red Hot sauce. Less than 5 ingredients in it. All wholesome, nothing bad, no preservatives. It's all good. And then I just added a little bit of olive oil because the recipe that I kind of based my recipe off of called for margarine, but I don't ever use margarine. I always use real butter. I'm just gonna give that a little stir, and that's gonna simmer up. It smells really good. It's gonna be pretty spicy. So my daughter is definitely not gonna like this, so I'm not gonna drench my wings with this because she will not like that at all. So I'm just gonna let that go. And then I'm going to coat my chicken wings and get those going. And then I am going to quickly make a homemade ranch dipping sauce, which is really, really good. It's a lot better than the bottled varieties. And a salad dressing is one thing that you really need to look out for if you're trying to stay away from processed food. It has a lot of really bad ingredients in it, and way more than it really needs. When you see how simple this recipe is, you will take a look at the bottled salad dressing, like Hidden Valley Ranch or whatever, and see all the ingredients in it and ask yourself, why do they need to put all these ingredients in it? So I have a flour mixture here. I am doing this recipe gluten-free because I try to stay gluten-free for the most part, and it's just one less thing that can irritate us, you know, when it comes to food sensitivities. So this is a mixture actually of quinoa flour, but you can use pretty much any gluten-free flour that you want. It's quinoa flour seasoned up. You can pretty much season it however you like. I use a little bit of salt, some freshly ground pepper, and some of this Cajun seasoning. Not too much of it because I don't want to make these hot because my 5-year-old is going to eat these, but it just gives it a little bit of a flavor, like a good flavor. And you want to just kind of toss them up in this little plastic bag. These are 1-inch cubes of chicken. I use chicken thighs because that's what I had in my freezer, but you can also use chicken breasts. You could even do like a meatball if you want to be creative. And these are pretty much all well coated in here. So I'm going to get my pan going. My pan is really, really hot. You want to start with a hot pan always, because you don't have to add as much oil. I'm using olive oil here. You could use canola oil, grapeseed oil. I'm going to kind of pan fry these up. Now, if I was doing a whole wing, I would bake them in the oven after I did this, but I'm not going to because I'm not using the whole wing, I'm just using. Make sure these are all pretty coated. I'm just going to drop these babies down in here. Really simple. You want to just make sure that these are cooked really, really well. You don't want to cook too many. You don't want to crowd your pan. I'll just put a few of them in here. And we'll do up the rest later. And now I'm going to make the ranch dressing. I want to make sure that all of this is kind of tilted here so the oil gets on them. These do smell really, really, really good. So ranch dressing is really, really simple. All we're gonna do is take about 1/3 of a cup of buttermilk. I probably put a little bit more in there than 1/3 of a cup. And toss that on into our bowl. And then you can use regular yogurt or you can use Greek yogurt. About 1/3 of a cup of Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt is my favorite. And go ahead and put that down in there. And then about 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise. This is an organic brand. Mayonnaise is another thing you have to look on the label, typical Kraft mayonnaise or whatever. There's a lot of weird stuff in it. Stuff that if you've ever made mayonnaise, you know it's like eggs and oil and salt. That's it. There's like nothing else that should be in there. So I'm going to mix this up so it's nice and even, no lumpies. You don't need to put a lot of mayonnaise in there. You could skip it if you want. It kind of just thickens it up a little bit. Gives it a little bit more of a tangy flavor. Check my wings, see? Flip them around. Gotta kind of be hands-on. You don't want to burn them. Nobody likes burnt wingdings. Definitely not. And even though these aren't looked at, if you think of like a Buffalo Wild Wing or whatever, or boneless wings, they deep fry those. And the sauce that they put on, and there's definitely no lack of fat in there. So though you're getting some fat, if you use a good oil, you use whole, fresh ingredients, it's not so bad. So we've got the ranch dressing about ready. Like the consistency, I don't see more lumps in here. And then you want to add about a tablespoon of fresh chives and about a clove of garlic. You can use garlic powder if you like, and you can use dry chives if you don't have fresh, but I'm keeping it fresh tonight. Mix that up. You're going to want to let this sit for a while before you eat it because you want the flavors to mingle in there and to get more of that ranchy type taste. You can add a little mustard if you want a little bit more tang, like some Dijon mustard if you like. I'm not a big mustard fan, so. And your last ingredient, I save it for last, is salt. And you don't need a ton. A few shakers in there. I don't measure anything really. I follow recipes very loosely. Alright, I'm going to let this get all nice and ranchy. Ranchy! Not raunchy, ranchy. Check on the little wings. These do not take very long to cook. You only cook a little at a time. But you want to make sure this is chicken. Make sure it's cooked all the way. Nice and thoroughly cooked. So good. And we'll be right back. I will show you what it looks like when it's all plated. Well, here we have it, the finished product. Our wingdings with the nice and ranchy ranch sauce. They taste better when you leave the spicy garlic sauce on them for a little while and then dig in. These are super great. Well, I don't know about everybody else, but I am hungry. So I'm going to get the second batch going here, and I will see you next time, next Thursday for Junk Food Thursday in the Yummy Life Kitchen.